Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with our next YouTube mini class. We are on YouTube number 117 and it's still too early to start saying counting down to 200. But we'll get there. I have got a technique filled YouTube for you today, and when you see what it is, I want you to keep an open mind because this may, I got an itch. This may just take you out of your box a little bit. But as far as I'm concerned, there is no box. And when you see all the different things you can do with this product, I'm thinking for the majority of you, you will find a way to use this and you will go, ah. So I'm really excited about it. Now, we have got winner chicken dinner to announce, and I'm in a really great mood. It's Sunday, March 22nd, 2015. So whenever you're watching this, it was Sunday, March 22nd, 2015. And yesterday, like at 5 minutes to 6, and we close at 6, a really old friend came in who has been coming to Scrapbooking Made Simple forever, since we basically opened. And Lou, she's just amazing. And her family is amazing. And she's got 9 sisters. And Mama, her mother, who's going to be 90. And they're just wonderful people. So they dropped in last night. I see them maybe once or twice a year. They dropped in last night at 5 minutes to 6, and Lou told them, I'm sure if we're inside the door, Stacy won't kick us out. And of course I didn't. We were there until 7:15. I didn't leave until 7:30 last night. So I came up here to do this YouTube today, and I have it all planned out and I'm all good, but I forgot to bring up the winner chicken dinner information. So I go downstairs because the store is open today. Doris and Kathy are manning the store right now. And who's back? Lou and her sisters and Mama. And you have to understand, Mama is like my mom and dad. She stands all of 5 foot, if that, and she has a big hug and a big kiss for me every single time I see her, and it just warms my heart. So they were back, and Mama liked a product that they got last night, so they came back to get more, but then I had to show them what more they could do with it, and before I know it, it was like an hour and a half later. But it just made me happy. So I'm in a really good mood. Hi Lou, hi everybody. Don't forget my tamales at Christmas. Now, like I said, we have winner chicken dinner, and from our last YouTube, which was featuring Kaisercraft and shimmer sheets and the precision plate and velvet sheets. So I have 2 winners for that. And I have 2 winners of $50 gift cards because on Facebook yesterday, I apologized for being late with the YouTube, but there was a lot going on with all the pre-orders coming in. So I am doing it today, so I'm a wee bit late, but I said if you are a current YouTube subscriber, post your YouTube name here on Facebook and we will pick some $50 gift card winners. So let's announce our winners, okay? If you are, and I'm not sure if it's Ella or Ela, Mahorko. If you're Ella or Ela Mahorko, congratulations, you have won a nice little prize package featuring those Kaisercraft dies and some velvet sheets and some shimmer sheets. Congratulations to you. And if you are Betty, now we got the Betty part right, but I'm just not sure about your last name. It could be Chapel or it could be Chappelle, and I'm not sure which one you are. I would think that the Chappelle would have an E at the end of it, but you know what? I'm not 100% positive. So if you are Betty, Chappell, you also are a winner of a Kaisercraft prize. Congratulations to you, Betty and Ela or Ella. Now for $50 gift cards, these are the peeps who put their YouTube name, posted their YouTube name underneath that Facebook posting yesterday that I did. And if you are Pam Denner, oh, bless your pea-picking heart, Pam. I can pronounce your name, no problem. In fact, let's say it again. If you are Pam Denner, you are a winner of a $50 gift card. And if you are, oh, I can do this one too. Banner day. If you are Andrea Zeich, congratulations, Andrea! You and Pam have won a $50 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple. Now, for all of our winners, Betty, Ela, Pam, Andrea, all you have to do is email us at asksms@earthlink.net. Say you are a winner chicken dinner from YouTube number 117, and we will get your prizes out to you just as quickly as possible. If you've won a $50 gift card and you're an online peep, just let us know and we'll apply that $50 credit to your account for you to go spend it on whatever makes you happy. And if you're an in-store peep, then we'll issue you a $50 gift card. Woohoo ka-choo! Now, quickly before I get started, an update about the Sizzix products. Yes, our transfer pads are in, our sheets, our foil sheets are in, our precision plates are in, and our Big Shot Plus machines are in. They are in, they are inventoried, and they have begun to ship. In fact, some of you have already received some of your stuff, and how do I know that? Because you sent emails saying, they were wonderful emails saying, oh my gosh, I got my things already. They're here. I get to play with them this weekend. It shipped so quick. Is everything okay? Yes, everything is good. Everything is good. We are still processing orders from the older system, and once we're all done with those, I'll be thrilled because you can't see your orders off the old system. Only we can see it, so we get a lot of phone calls for that. But we're also able, right now, currently, we're trying to ship all new store owners on our orders from the new site within 30 days. And so far, so good. Our goal is to ship anything that you order on the new site within 30 days. And like I said, so far, so good. Of course, there's a few exceptions like pre-orders. We can't ship you what we don't have. But for the most part, people are getting their orders faster and better. And I'm really happy about that. The changes that we're making are starting to pay off. Woohoo! And we've got more staff. Woohoo! So if you have pre-ordered, please know we're taking them in the order we received. So first orders in are first orders out. And if you haven't received an invoice, if you're a pay it later, don't worry. You will receive it when we get to your day. As soon as we hit your day to process, you'll receive your pay it later invoice, okay? So exciting, everybody's getting their product, we're ecstatic, and we're just gonna keep on going. Now let's get started for today, because I really do want you to see how wonderful some of this new product is, featuring Sukaniko or Imagine Crafts and Faber-Castell. And like I said, even if you think it's not for you, watch, give it a chance, see what I can do with it, see what you'll be able to do with it, and then make up your mind, because it really is simply magic. All right, are we ready to start? Down we go. Bye, everybody. All right, so I think we're okay there, yeah? Everybody asks why I say that. It's because I tilt the camera down myself and I kind of have to be able to see what I'm doing. So we're starting today using new product from Faber-Castell, and these are stencils. And at this point, half of you may go, oh, I'm not a stencil person, click. But don't do that, trust me. These are pretty awesome. They are not your typical stencil. It is a stencil kit, so you are going to receive all 10 different stencils. And when we think of a stencil, usually you think of something being plastic. And they usually, in the 6x6 size, run about $5. But Faber-Castell has really tried to make this something that even those of you who aren't sure if you're going to love working with them can afford to do. They made their stencils out of a lightweight chipboard. Lightweight chipboard. So that they are usable many, many times, but eventually you're going to just use it as an embellishment for something else. This isn't something that you can use 20 times, definitely 5 to 7 times without a problem. But the key is this stencil in plastic would run about $5. They're giving you all 10 stencils, all 10 different designs for $6.95. So even if you think you're not that person, this is so economical, and you will use every single piece of this, I promise, for $6.95. And yes, it's on a YouTube Yummy, so it'll be 20% off. This gives those of you who go, gosh, I just don't know. It gives you a way to get into it without going, if we bought all of these individually, you'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, you would be at $50 versus $6.95. And the beauty of them is Once you're done using it, maybe you only want to use it 5 or 6 times. Then, because of what it's made of, it becomes its own embellishment. Then you can cut it up and mist it and paint it and do whatever you want with it and use it as part of your card or your scrapbooking page. Nothing to waste here. So we're going to be featuring those, and we're going to be featuring Creative Medium by Sukaniko Imagine Crafts. I know they're really trying to get Imagine Crafts out there, but it's so hard for me. I'm sorry, Debbie. This is a paste. Yes, it's a paste, and we're going to use it with the stencils, but we're going to use it on many different things. You're going to see this paste used several different ways. And when people think of a paste, they think of mixed media, but it doesn't have to be mixed media. It can be for card makers. It can be for scrapbookers. And when you see the different ways to use it, I think you're going to really go, oh. Now, what makes this paste so special than any other paste out there is they call it an iridescent, and there's many different colors. All sorts of different colors, blues and greens and purples. And while it is iridescent, it's also got an interference medium to it. I said the word interference if that didn't come out well. What that means is that when it goes on white. But when it dries to a different color. It dries to an iridescent purple. And that application, that it's called an interference. And for those of you who do Perfect Pearls, you know that Perfect Pearls has some colors that are called interference. And I don't know why they're called interference, but they are. And the key thing about them is that when you put it on white paper or light paper, it looks one color. But when you put it on a darker paper, it looks completely different, even though it's the exact same product. It's wonderful. So I'm going to get started, and I want to show you a few things. First, easy peasy mac and cheesy. I am going to just take a basic piece of black paper, and I want to use, and you'll see we've already used these stencils. And the key to using these stencils again and again, and you might be able to get, 10 times out of it. I don't know. It just depends upon you. The key to using these stencils is to use it. You can use it twice, maybe 3 times. But because it is paper and because we are using a medium that's wet, it's going to get wet, which means you need to then set it aside, let it dry. These have all dried, and I could probably get 3 or 4 more uses out of it. Set it aside, let it dry. But there will come a point where it won't be usable anymore. And at that point, I'm going to cut this up, and I'm going to use this for a mat on a scrapbook page. I'm going to mist it and finish painting it, and I'm going to use it because nothing gets thrown away. For your $6.95, nothing gets thrown away. But to begin with, I'm going to start with it on black paper. And I'm just going to put it right down over the top of my black paper. And for those of you who are familiar with using stencils, then you are familiar with what I'm doing. And for those of you who have never seen it before, this is kind of stenciling step 1. So I've taped it down. I think I might add just a little more tape onto my corners. And my recommendation on the tape is either blue tape like a painter's tape or a removable tape. And you just want it right down on your corners just to hold your stencil in place. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what color of the creative medium I want to use. And when you open it up, no matter what color you choose of the iridescents, they're all white. This one is the purple, purpley pink, but it's white when you open it. Here's the green. It's still white, but when it dries, that's when the magic happens, and it truly is magic. Now I've got palette knives, and we have a set that's going to be on the YouTube Yummy. You actually get 3 knives for, I want to say $3.50 or $3.90 for all 3 sizes. They come in a kit, and you really do want to use a palette knife. Let me tell you, we tried to get away with using a butter knife. That didn't work. We tried using the back of a fork. That didn't work. And finally, Yvette said, Stacy, you do need a palette knife for this. So we went and we got really great palette knives at a really great price, and you're going to want to use it. Now, when I use this, I'm going to pick it up kind of with the back of my knife. With the back of my knife. And I'm not going to get so much on there that it's, making a big glob. But I don't want so little on there that there's hardly anything to put down. You want to think about buttering a piece of bread or adding peanut, putting peanut butter on your bread. You want enough, but not too much. At that point, I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to pull down. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to pull down. If I don't have enough on my knife and I can only get halfway down, that's okay. I'll add more and I will start from where it stopped and I will pull down. So, all I'm doing is buttering my bread. See, didn't have enough. Let's add a little bit more. Start at the top and pull down. Start at the top and pull down. Start up and pull down. I'm not going up and down. I'm always starting at the top of wherever I left off and pulling down. And I'm not putting it on so thick that it's coming up over the stencil. I'm trying to do a nice amount, get all my places covered, and then move on. So put some more on my knife, start at my top, and move down. Same direction every time. All right. I think I'm not going to do the whole thing just so you can see the black over there. At that point, assuming you've done the whole thing, you're pretty much done. You do not want to leave this sitting here for a length of time, because what will happen is the paste will act as a glue, and because this is your stencilless paper, it will glue it right to it. So you want to pull it up. And that's what I was able to create. Now, as this paste dries, that purple that is starting to come out, can you see that purple trying to come out? The more it dries, the more purpley it's going to get. It's not going to just stay white. That interference property that's in this paste, while it goes down white, it comes through purple. It's wonderful. Now I would just take my stencil, peel it up. You can absolutely take a wipey, wipe up my table real quick, take a wipey, wipe it up. It is water soluble, so no problem. If you wanted to, you could take your stencil, give it a little wipe and get some of that excess off, and then you're just gonna let it dry until you wanna use it the next time. So you can see, you can easily get, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 uses out of it. Oops, sounds like a fire department going by. 5, 6, 7 uses out of it before it starts to really deteriorate the chipboard. But because they're so cost effective for $6.95, that's okay, because once it won't stencil really beautifully anymore, not a problem. You're going to, can you see how the iridescence is on that craft color? It's beautiful. You're going to make this an embellishment for something else that you're going to do. You are not going to throw it away. And as this dries, more and more of the purple is going to come through. Now, can you heat set this? My recommendation is no. You have to be very, very careful when you heat set this. If you take your heat it tool or whatever heat tool you have and start putting the heat on it, it can bubble. It will bubble up, and it's not a pretty bubble. It's not like a, ooh, that's a really cool effect. It's a, oh, I just ruined my paper. So if you're going to try and heat set it, you have to pay attention. I mean, literally just a few seconds will make the difference between it bubbling and not. So my recommendation, just set it aside and let it dry. It's okay. The thinner the coat you put on, the faster it will dry. So just beautiful. Now you can use this for card making, you can use this for scrapbooking. You can wait till it dries and you can die cut with it and make beautiful flowers. It's gorgeous. I want to show you, I'm going to put that one aside. I want to show you kind of a cheat sheet, where I'm going to show you a card that we did here. So we did this card. We used the same stencil. We used this stencil, but we made this card. We took a card base. This is just a card base. We took a black piece of paper, taped it to the card base so that this part is the card, is the actual card. There's no other paper up here. We took our stencil and we stenciled color all the way down at the same time. At the same time, we went over the white and the black at the same time. Can you see the difference of what that interference looks like on white versus black? So on the white, you get a little bit of a green. What's really nice is you get this beautiful texture. And when you tilt the card is when that green just comes through. Now you see it, beautifully on the black, but you don't really see that green until you start tilting the card in front of you. And it's the pop of color that's there, but not really there. So it's not adding glitz and it's not adding glitter. It's adding this sophisticated, beautiful shimmer that works well for guys, for girls, for scrapbook pages, for just about anything. And it all depends upon what color paper you put it on. That will determine the color that comes out. If you're using the green and you put it on light paper, you're going to end up with a beautifully textured piece of paper that when you move it, you get the green. And if you put it on a dark piece of paper, that green is just gonna pop. But it's not glittery and it's not overwhelming. So it's this, like I said, a subtle sophistication to it that's beautiful. And this is the interference factor. That's why they call it interference. And it has the one color on white versus dark. And when a medium does that, they call it an interference. Just beautiful. So that's using a stencil. Easy peasy on just basic paper, white, black, cream, whatever makes you happy. But what happens when we put it on a pattern piece of paper? Now I'm using paper from our Kaiser Craft bundle, and I have to tell you that this bundle is the best bundle we've ever offered. We have a Kaiser Craft bundle every single month, and this one had a retail of $30 and it's on sale for $19.99, and I'll show you that bundle later. But what happens when you put the stencil on pattern paper? Well, inside the packs, and there's two different packs of stencils, they give you some that just give you different sizes of honeycomb and different sizes of circles. And what we did is we took it and we kind of put that iridescence in different places on pattern paper. So let me show you that really quick. And again, it just depends upon what color you like. So I've got it taped down. I think I'm going to put my purple away. And maybe I will grab my green. I'm going to take my palette knife again. Get a little bit on the back. And then just like you were buttering bread or you were applying cake frosting or peanut butter, start in one direction, top to bottom. Top to bottom. Wherever I leave off, I'm going to just pick up and keep going in the same direction. Okay, done. And there it is. Now, when I look at it here, sitting in front of me, I can't really see the hexagon patterns, the honeycomb pattern there. I can't see it. But when I start to move it is when that color comes through. Now as this dries, that green is going to get a little bit more pronounced, but because this is on a lighter color paper, it's almost the only time you're going to see that green shimmer is when you start moving it. Because when I look at it straight on, if I'm holding it and I'm looking at it straight on, I don't see too much of it. I see a little bit of the honeycomb pattern, but I don't get the interference aspect. I don't get that pop of shimmer or iridescence. However, so here's a card done. However, when I move it, that's when I start to see it. Can you see that blue iridescence? But when you look at it straight on, it just looks like an easy card. It just looks like a beautiful card. But then you go to open it and look at it and you're like, pow! What is that? Because it's not there, but it is there. And that's the magic of it. It's just wonderful. So when you need a little something, when you want to add a little oomph to something, but you don't want it to be so in the face, this is beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's got that beautiful blue. And again, you don't really see it until you start moving the card around, because when you look at it straight on, you may see some of the little triangles, but you certainly don't. It almost looks transparent. It hasn't changed the color of the paper. But then you move it and it's like, wow, where did that come from? It definitely catches your eye, and it adds a little something to that card that is so sophisticated and so elegant that when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, Yvette did these cards and she did a beautiful job. Just a beautiful job. So that's when you use it on patterned paper. Yes, you can use it. Easy to do. Adds just that something that you might have been missing. There's more ways we're gonna use it. I'm gonna put these off to the side for now. I'm gonna put this one back. I've got flowers in front of me. Just paper flowers. Kind of flat looking, not too exciting paper flowers. You can absolutely paint with it. I've got a paintbrush, a little bit of water, and again, it's totally water soluble, so you don't have to worry about anything. Completely water soluble. Think of anything you want to add a little bit of shimmer to, but not glitter. And you don't necessarily want to get out a mist, because those can get to be messy and then everything's wet for forever. I'm just going to get a little bit of on my paintbrush, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to paint my flower. I'm just going to add a little bit to my flower. Quick and simple and easy. And because I'm putting on such a thin coat, it's going to dry super fast. I'm just painting my flower. Now what happens is that once it dries, it puts on this beautiful glossy finish to my flower. Can you see the difference? I did half the flower with my creative medium and half my flower without anything. Look at how much prettier it is when you just add a little bit of that creative medium. It adds that gloss to it. It's gorgeous. Doesn't change the color, and it dries a whole lot faster than when you put it on this thin. It dries a whole lot faster than glossy accents, but it's beautiful. Doesn't change the color, just adds a little bit of shimmer. Here's another one with the green. I did half the flower, and then I left half the flower. And sometimes you want your flowers to just have a little more oomph to them. And this is a great way to do it without blinging them out, without getting too crazy. It just helps them pop a little bit. Gosh, I think I have a pink one here. There's a pink one. And again, I did half the flower, this side with the glaze, or with the creative medium, and the other half without. That way you can see the difference. Sometimes you want a flat, you want the flower to have a flat look to it. You want to build it up and layer it and it have just a very matted look to it. But sometimes you want it to have more glossy, more pizzazz. And this is a great way, and any color of the creative medium will do it, as long as it's an iridescent. You don't want to, we have the creative medium in the metallics as well. You don't want to do it with the metallic. Any color of a creative medium, you can paint right onto your flower and get a beautiful look. Easy to do. I also took some embellishments. So here you've got the tag, but I added a little bit of that creative medium in the pink just to give that bottom, I did only the bottom, just to give it a little shimmer and a little pizzazz. And all I did, well, this is green, but that's okay. We'll do the green. All I did was paint it on right over the tag. to give a little shimmer. And because it's not so wet like a mist, it's not going to curl your paper. And you don't have to get the handy wipes out and wipe everything down because it's not a mist. And it goes on so easy and so flat. Now that side's going to dry green, and it'll have just a beautiful little shimmer to it. And it dries very fast because you're using a very thin coat. The heavier the coat, the longer it's going to take to dry. And then I did half of a little tag where you have the flat, and then I just added a little bit here just to show you how it adds that beautiful iridescence without actually, there it is head on. It still looks black, but only until you start to move it does that color come through. So it doesn't change the black, it just adds to it. And again, the only thing I did, put a little bit on my paintbrush, and I just painted it on. Nice thin coat. So now I've got the pink and the green on this one. And when it dries, that green will come right on through, just like the pink did. Subtle and sophisticated and easy to do. Easy to do. So anything you can think about painting with or adding shimmer to, the creative mediums will do it for you. Yes, you can take a piece of white paper and ink it with a bunch of memento inks and then layer this on top. Absolutely, you can make beautiful backgrounds. But the next thing I want to show you is using a die. All right, so I'm going to put that over there for right now. And I am going to pull over my Big Shot machine, because Big Shot machine here at Scrapbooking Made Simple is the machine of choice. And now the Big Shot Plus machine is really the machine of choice because it does all the way up to 9 inches. It's 9 inches wide. It's amazing. I have got with me over here some dies by Doris. Dies by Doris. People saw these butterflies. We used them for a make and take a couple months, maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and they wanted to know where they get them. Well, they're $14.99. You get all three, and yes, we will have them online. And yeah, I'll put these as a YouTube Yummy. I can't do the whole Doris line, but I'll put these as a YouTube Yummy as well. So $14.99 gets you all three butterflies, and Doris has also included the magnetic sheet inside for storage, so don't throw it away. Even if you're not going to use it for storage, find something else to do with it. The dies stay right to it, easy peasy. I'm going to take one of the dies and I'm going to die cut it with my Big Shot machine. Let's grab a piece of black paper. Now I've got my magnetic platform. I've got my cut plate on the bottom because I'm using just my standard magnetic platform. I'm going to put my paper down. I'm going to put my die down, and then I'm going to put my do not cut plate over the top. So, and yes, the colored plates are here too. Those are shipping as well. Pretty much everything that was pre-ordered from Sizzix is here. So hang tight, it's coming. Girls are shipping as fast as possible. They can't wait. It's so nice when everything is here ready to go. We're filling and the girls are getting it out. Woohoo ka-choo. All right, so I've got my magnetic platform. I have got my cut plate. I've got my paper. I've got my die. And because I'm on my magnetic platform, nothing moves. I'm gonna send it on through. Now, a lot of your wafer dies have embossing features on them, and that's usually when we use a knock-knock in our squishy plate. So if I wanted to emboss this die, I would use my knock-knock in my squishy plate, but you also can stencil it. This is the exact same thing as this. They're the same. This is now a stencil. This is a stencil. You can use it as a stencil. I'm going to take this out of my way. I think I'm going to grab my purple again. I'm going to leave the die in the paper, even though it's cut through. Can you see the cut on the back? Even though it's cut through, I'm going to leave it there in the paper because I'm gonna take a little bit of my, I happen to like this tool the best, the knife tool. I don't know if that's because I've made a lifetime worth of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm just so used to using a knife or what. But I'm gonna fix them up with the back side. Not too much. And then I'm gonna go from top to bottom over my die. Top to bottom. Gosh, you can already see it changing to purple. Can you already see that changing? Now I'm gonna pop my die cut out. And I'm gonna take my little pokey tool that I've got, my little tweezers right now, and in the 2 points at the top where I don't care if I have the medium, I'm going to pop my die out. And there we go. Oh, yes. Yay! Because you never know how it's gonna work out when you're doing it on YouTube. And since I don't know how to edit, these YouTubes are 100% start to finish, no stopping. OMG. When this dries, this is going to dry to that purple iridescence that this one is now drying to. That beautiful purple iridescence that I showed you on the earlier card. Oh, I didn't show a purple one, I showed the green one. We'll get to a purple one, but when this dries, it's going to dry to that beautiful purple iridescent. How fab is that? So you may not be a mixed media person. You may not be a paste person, but if you're a die cut person, oh, it's just a little bit of happiness. And it is water soluble. You just take your wet wipe, a nice wet wipe, wipe it down, wipe your die down, and you're good to go again. You're just gonna clean up your die and then you're good to go again. You're gonna let that dry and you're going to make the most beautiful butterflies using the iridescent. And yes, you can go in and you can use the gold and you can use the silver and the, is it copper and bronze? The colors are just wonderful. And when they dry, oh my gosh, phenomenal. Now, if you did want to, while it's still wet, you could absolutely drizzle in a little bit of glitter if that would make you happy. Maybe some iridescent glitter to go on top of that, because while it's wet, it's also a glue. And whatever you drizzle into it is going to stay. Now, I've been told, and I haven't tried it yet, that while it's wet, I could put clear embossing powder over the top of it, and when it is dry, completely dry, I could heat it and that clear embossing powder would melt into it, and it's beautiful. That I have to play with, but that is what I've been told. So if any of you have done that, post on this YouTube, yes, I did that and it was amazing. How beautiful is that? Take your dies that you have and make it a stencil. Die cut it out. You don't have to emboss it anymore because that paste has left a little bit of a, it's slightly raised. Just take it and make it a stencil. Think about all the flowers you have that you could use this with, where you cut it out of beautiful paper and then you just take a little bit of the iridescent to go over it, and it just adds a beautiful, soft, sophisticated shimmer to it that you see, but you don't see. Only when you move it do you get that shimmer from it. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So we have used it as a basic stencil where you can make your backgrounds and you can make mats for your scrapbooking layouts and you can make mixed media and altered art with it just using the stencils from Faber-Castell. I do need to tell you about these though. Okay, so Faber-Castell, we ordered all they have. We have about 250. Faber-Castell is completely sold out of them. We took the majority of their order. So we have about 250 of them and the next order isn't coming in until May. So if they sell out, I'm so sorry, but we've got them. We've got all they have left. I just confirmed that with Tammy the other day, that What they have is all allocated to Scrapbooking Made Simple, and you will get all 10 different designs for $6.95, less 20%. And they do have another package of them, so I'll show you the other package. You can absolutely use them again and again and again, and then when you're done using it, look at that, is that awesome? When you're done using it, then use it as an embellishment. Use it as a matte, finish misting it. There is absolutely a way, once you're done putting it onto your paper, whatever paper it is, take the top, say the top is all, it has all that extra medium on it. Just pick it up, turn it over, and now you're using it as a stamp. You're gonna take that medium and transfer it onto a piece of paper. Gosh, I should have done that with the other one. But you can absolutely do that. And remember, it's so important that you start from the top and work your way down. You don't want to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's going to leave lines. Let's see if I can play with one of the iridescents, or one of the metallics. Start from the top and butter down. Oh, I just got that one underneath, but that's okay. Start from the top and butter down. I'm not going, oh, see, that's why you don't do that. Did you see what happened? I went back and forth and went right under the stencil right there, which is going to then put that metallic where I don't want it. Start at the top and work your way down. Start at the top, work your way down, and you'll do fine. But then I have all of this extra that's on the top. What do I do with that? Oh yeah, I made a mess of this one. You can take it, grab a piece of paper, move it over, and it's gonna give you kind of a grunge look. You know, it's not gonna be beautifully perfect because the medium isn't absolutely everywhere on the page, but you can definitely go in there, press it down, and it will move that chevron. Not so good on that one, but it'll move the chevron over. Give it a whirl. So we've gone ahead and we made a beautiful background out of it. We have done it on patterned paper as an accent where you just want to add a little bit of something. We have put it onto flowers and to embellishments that you just want to add a little bit of zing, but not overwhelming. You're not trying to change it. You're just trying to add a little to it, just so it has a little oomph to it. And we have die cut with it and used it in our stenciling feature. And again, when this dries, that purple is going to come through beautifully. Now there's more to be done with this, I am sure, but I thought that that would give you enough so that even if you weren't necessarily a pasty person or a mixed media person or an altered art person, you very well could be a die cut person, or you could be a flower person, or you could be a scrapbooker who wants to make beautiful mats for the pictures. You are a card maker. Hopefully you're one of those people, and if you are altered art and mixed media, well then you know that the interference is just awesome. These products are amazing, and that you have to have them in your arsenal because they're just going to open up so many doors when you start using dark papers. They're just fabulous. I'm going to show you some samples. I still love my butterfly. I'm very pleased with my butterfly. It makes me happy. I'm going to show you some samples because we've got quite a few here. First ones I'm going to show you are the ones we did for the make and take. So I showed you this one that has happy on it. And again, one color, the same color on the top as are on the bottom. And all we did was take a card base, tape a piece of black paper to it, run the stencil down all at the same time, and then the ribbon, which we didn't even tape down. While the paste was still wet, we just pushed the ribbon into it because it acts like a glue. Same with the happy, we just pushed it right into the paste because it becomes a glue. And this card was done. One piece of black paper, one die cut, some ribbon, and the paste all the way down. We've got thank you. So this is another one of the stencils that comes in it. It's like a stained glass. Same thing, just tape the black paper right onto the card base. It's hard to believe that the same paste is on both, but it is, and that's the color difference that you get. Here's Hello. There's that chevron properly done, where you've pulled it all the way down in one direction, and that's the gold. Here's the silver. Silver's gorgeous, and again, this is another one of the stencils that comes in that kit for $6.95. Here's the Thank You. She ran the diamonds the other direction. Same stencil, just ran the diamonds in a different direction. And then we just used it as an accent. So we just put the black paper here and used it just as an accent to this card. And this card was made using the new Kaisercraft bundle that we've got, the March bundle that had a $30 value, and it's on sale for $19.99. The paper, the embellishments, everything came from that Kaisercraft bundle. So let me show you some of that from the Kaisercraft bundle. I showed you the blue card that when you look at it, it just looks like a beautiful card, but when you move it, that's when you start to get that shimmer. It's so unexpected. Then I have, look at this one, is this gorgeous? Same thing, all from the Kaisercraft paper, but then you move it and look at that. It's there, but it's not there. And then in the blue, doesn't look like anything until you start to move it. And then you get that beautiful color coming through. And all we did was lay the stencil down, do it, because the stencils have little ones that you can just place wherever you want. You don't have to use a big one, this is my favorite. Again, from the Kaisercraft bundle, all the paper, but I just love the pink. I love the pink on this card. I love the iridescent, the interference, the pink on this card. It just makes me happy. Look at that, it's gorgeous. But when you look at it, it doesn't change the coloring at all. Lovely. Here we went with really big honeycomb, and then when you move it, that pink just draws you in. So you look at it there, one look, but then you start to move it and you get a whole different view of it. It's beautiful. And then here's the copper. I think this is the copper, done as a background. Now, an easy way to see the difference is here. So, oh, upside down. So here's the iridescent pink. I hope you guys can see it. Here's the iridescent pink on black versus white. There's the gold down here on black versus white. Can you see that? Oh yeah, there we go. That's good. You can see the blue on black versus white. It's a really good chart to show you how that interference property works. And then we've got this one too. So here are the colors. White, and you get the green and you get the pink, but you really have to look for it. It's very subtle. And then the exact same on black. Those are exactly the same, just on different colored paper. All right, so what did we go over? Like I said, we did it with die cutting, we did it with flowers, we did it on just basic black paper. Stenciling is easy, and you can make a stencil out of many, many different things, even out of your dies. If you've got those little holes in your dies, you've got a stenciling feature on your die and you can use it. We can add gloss to flowers without having to mist or wait too long for it to dry. Really, really wonderful. And then, okay, so what's gonna be on sale? Oh, let me show you the Kaisercraft bundle while I'm here. Oh, and here's this last part. This is where Yvette took the extra and used it. So she did her stenciling, and then there was still paste left on top of the stencil. She flipped it over and used it as a stamp. And remember I said it would have kind of a grungy look to it? It's not perfect, but it's not meant to be perfect. And it made a beautiful background. And then it acted as a resist, so we could take ink and go right over the top of it. Pretty card. Okay, then we have the Kaiser Craft bundle for March. It has got the beautiful bling, it's got the beautiful stamps, it's got the collectibles, all those die cuts that were on all of those cards came from here. And then it has the paper pack, and it has a super long set of clear bling that, don't forget, you can color with your Copics or your Sharpies or your Spectrum Noirs to any color you want them to be. The paper is simply gorgeous in the pad. It's beautiful paper. Absolutely beautiful. And like I said, oh, yep, it was retail price is $30.91. Your price is $19.99. So that will be part of the special. And then we've got, gosh, I want to say there's probably 8 or 9 colors of the different creative mediums. And those will all be on YouTube special. And then the 2 packs of the stencils. You've got the background pack, which is the one I was using today, which gives you all of those stencils for $6.95 instead of $50. And then you've got their second set, which gives you more shapes. So you're going to get all of those shapes, again, $6.95 and then on sale. Can't go wrong. If you haven't played with them before, this is a great opportunity for the price to see if it's something you're going to like. And if not, no harm, no foul. You can still use them because they're paper. You can still use them in your card making or your scrapbooking just as it is. You can mist it, color it, whatever you want to do, and use it as an embellishment. So an awesome opportunity to try, and Faber-Castell really did an amazing job, especially with that price point. I was floored. All right, you guys, I'm gonna tilt on up. Ooh. Okay, there I am. I'm gonna tilt on up and I'm gonna say, where are you gonna get all of this great product? Easy. You're going to go scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Look for the YouTube Yummy Sale. Under categories on the top, there'll be a banner somewhere that says YouTube Yummy Sale. And just remember, the YouTube Yummy Sale is only good for 10 days after this YouTube. So being that this is March 22nd, 2015, if you are watching this March 22nd, 2016, I'm so sorry, but the sale is over. And for those of you who are receiving your Sizzix products, keep sending those emails. We love to hear that you've got it and that you've loved it. For those of you who are waiting, just stay patient. They're here. We're processing as quickly as possible. If you are a pay it later person, your invoice will be coming to you soon if you haven't received it already, and you have 3 days. 3 days to get it paid, and then unfortunately we have to cancel your order and allocate that product to somebody else who may be placing their order today. Sorry, but we do hope you enjoy the pay it later. That gives you a little bit of time to get the funds together, or however you want to do it. All right, me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple. I hope you enjoyed and that you found your boxes a little bit bigger than you thought it was, or maybe there's no box at all and this was right up your alley. Bye guys, I'll see you next time.